Hello. When you hop in, say hey. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Kanisha. Hello, friends. Hey. Welcome to the live. Just waiting for our guest of honor. Do a quick sound check. Hi, Kayla. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Allison. I am currently reading the Caraval trilogy. What are you reading? Hey, Jen. Hey, Kayla. When you come in, let me know what you're currently reading. Hey, Bessie. What's up, baby? Hey, Karina. Hello, friends. I know. How was your trip to Disney? Hey, hey. Oh, she's here. Hi. Yes, all the unicorns in the house. Blood and Steel. I loved Blood and Steel. Are you with us, CC?
I am, but I have to figure out how to get my... Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yes, but I have to... Apparently I need to change permissions for y'all to see me, so... Live access needed... Access needed to go live on video. On video as guest. You can go live on audio.
Oh no.
So it's...
Can't turn camera on. Thanks for the follow, Karina. Just a moment while we work on some things. That's why I wanted to hop on a few minutes early. Hey, Danny. Yes. She not... Oh.
Is it because I don't have 1,000 followers?
No, I think you have to go live for like 30 minutes or something.
You've got to be kidding me. Why is it gotta hate like that?
I know.
TikTok live access needed. You can see no word. I need at least 1,000 followers for y'all to see me.
That's not true. I have besties. I have besties that hop on here with 500 followers with a camera on.
Okay, so how do we fix this is my biggest question.
You need 500, yes.
Oh, I don't have 500.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even check.
Okay, so how do we solution this? We'll find a way.
We could do audio.
But that's just not the same.
It's not. They want to see you. They're here to see you.
I want y'all to see me too. Maybe I can go live on YouTube and we can kind of do like that. You guys can watch me on YouTube, but you can hear me here.
There's 72 people in here. If you're not following CC, go follow CC right now. Everyone go follow CC right now.
You know, it's funny. I had to restart my TikTok account because when I'm Canadian, and so when you have a Canadian account, you actually get completely slaughtered in how often you show. And so I worked my butt off with my Canadian account and got like 54 followers. And I've barely touched this one and I have 350 followers. So
Oh my gosh.
it's
That's
how
wild.
do we fix this? Anybody have
Okay,
any account they want to
everyone's
let me sign in
following.
from?
I know, right? Like,
Actually, Kate, let me just message my PR firm because I believe that I might be able to get in through there. Give me a second.
okay.
I'm just going to
Okay.
mute myself.
We'll be here jamming out. If you're joining us, say hey in the chat and let me know what you're reading while we're waiting on CC. Yeah, TikTok, it's so funny because people are like, it's hard to grow on Instagram. I feel like it's harder to grow on TikTok. Thank you, Hope. Yes. All the romanticy vibes tonight for the jam sesh. Also, if you're hopping in and you have not followed CC, definitely give her a follow. If you are new to my page, give me a follow. We'll just have a big old follow party. Hello. Crown Forged in Blood. Yes. Yes. Yay. You just finished CC's book 30 minutes ago. Oh my God. Allison, thank you for the follow. Oh my gosh. Are you not losing your mind?
Okay, so I'm just going to sign off of here. My PR firm is going to give me the login information for their TikTok account. So I'll be right back and then you all can see me.
Yay. All right. See you in a bit.
Okay, bye.
Yay. Solutions. We love them. 80 people in the house. 80 people here to witness some magic tonight. Hanging out with CC Hartly. Yes, quick intermission. You've never been a part of lives? That's so fun. Yes, BB. Oh, Laura, thank you for the tiny tinies. Hi, Fireheart. I love your name. I love your name. If you can't tell. Love your name. I actually have a Fireheart necklace. Hey, besties. Thank you for the follow, you guys. Someone put CC's @ symbol or at like her username in the comments. And then if I have a mod that can pin it, that would be great. Hi, Nicole. Yes. Do I have a mod that can pin that for me? I don't know if I have any that are actively in here yet. Thank you. Everyone go follow CC. That is their their username. Go follow them. Let's blow their account up tonight so that way we can have CC back on her own account at a later date. On a day that's not today. Thank you for sharing. Yes, share the friend, tag your book bestie, tag your romanticy loving book bestie in the comments. Share it with them because everyone is going to want to be a part of this live tonight. I'm telling you, if you are not here, you are missing out because it is going to be such a blast. First of all, Cece is so freaking fun. I had the honor of like having an hour-long phone call with her the other day, and I could literally sit and talk to her all day long. She's so much fun. No, she will be right back. She had to get on her publisher's account because her account doesn't have enough followers to go live with video. She is so sweet, A gem. A gem. Absolute gem. Sunshine Syndicate. Ooh. You bought 4 books today? Pop off. Pop off. Which one are you most excited to read? You posted her in her ARC Discord to have. Yay! Thank you, thank you. Good. Yes, she does. She absolutely does. She sees a side of the creator aspect of promoting a book and talking about a book, and sees it from such a genuine, beautiful place that is not acknowledged as much as a creator I would like to see, and it's just beautiful. Is her book on KU? Her book releases tomorrow, so we'll talk more about that in a bit. You're edging your PR book. Let's go. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. Let's see. Where you at? There you are. Okay. Following. I invited you up. Ten minutes later. Hey, Claudia. Yay! There's your beautiful face. Oh, wait, now I can't hear you.
Hey, we did it.
Yay.
Oh my goodness. Huzzah!
Yay!
Oh, okay. So, you guys, Inkslinger PR is helping me so much. And this is just, if ever you're launching a novel, like a PR firm just has the things that you just can't do when you are a new author. So, like, thank you so much. Hi, everybody! Oh my gosh, there's so many unicorns in here. Hi.
So many.
So many.
many.
Oh my goodness, 86.
If you're a unicorn, put a unicorn in the chat.
Oh my Lanta, you guys, I am so excited. This is my first time ever doing a live, and I cannot wait. Anyways, Jay, I'll let you go. I kind of just like came in hot, but yeah, tell me.
No, I love it.
Let's start.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Also,
okay,
thank you guys for thank you for your patience while we figured out my itty bitty TikTok account needs some help. So
we're gonna grow that baby. We're gonna grow that baby. Okay, so hi.
Hi.
If you don't know me, first of all, I'm Jasmine Queen. Nice to meet everyone. Nice to have you here. I am absolutely honored to even share space with this amazing human being. And so when she asked me to host a pre-launch bash party, I will not kid, like I was kicking my legs, screaming. I was like, I'm like texting everyone, like, she asked me to host this. I was freaking out. Okay. So, that's a little bit about me, but I had the honor to also be a unicorn and read as an ARC reader, Heir, Stardust, and Secrets. So again, this made this extra special because I'm telling you, this book will forever hold a special place in my heart. I loved it, obsessed with it. I'm probably tell everyone I know about it. So let's dive in.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about you.
Well,
who you are.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who you are, a little bit about you, and just, personal stuff.
Yeah, so my name is CC Hartly. I am a first-time author. My book, Heir of Stardust and Secrets, comes out tomorrow. And, like, you guys, I'm going to be showing you quite a few things, but, like, how pretty is this freaking book? I cannot even. We're going to read from it today. I won't take up too much airspace on who I am because I feel like a lot of those questions are in the Q&A section. So what I can tell you, I know, I can't believe it's a debut either. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm reading the comments and going back and forth. My ADHD is real with that type of thing. So I'm gonna do a reading at some point in time. We're gonna do a QA, and then you guys, I just have such a really cool announcement that I only wanted, like, I don't even know how Jasmine hasn't told the world yet, because I want to tell the world about this secret. And there's like Jay knows, I know, my like literal best friend knows, my PR company and my publisher Athon Books knows. That is it. So yes, I will keep that to the very end just to like string you all along. But yeah, stay tuned. There's a lot of really cool things in store. I cannot even wait to dig in. So
Yay! So many fun things in store tonight, you guys. If you're excited, I want to see some sparkles in the chat. Just light it up. And we just want to go ahead and jump into your reading. Let's hear.
Sure. Okay, so I've selected a reading for you guys. This is a paperback. Okay, I think we'll kind of get into this a little bit when we go into the Q&A, but the section I wanted to read for you guys is actually in chapter 7, and it's kind of when her whole world just collapses, and it's almost where the naivety of the human realm crumbles for her, and her whole life kind of crumbles, and her parents are unalived and whatnot. And the really cool thing about this is I'll get into like my process and how I wrote this in the first place, but this was the very first chapter I ever wrote. And to this date, from the moment that I'm going to read until the end of the chapter, almost nothing has changed from it, like not even punctuation. So it's just one of those, like, the universe or whatever you guys call it in your lives just worked through me in such a beautiful way. And there's just this one quote that every time I read it, I'm like, so good. So without further ado, to give you guys a bit of background, Nyleria has just come back to her rickety cabin, and there's these 4 ridiculously handsome gentlemen waiting for her, and she has a bit of a conversation with them, and then this part happens. My brother and sister were missing, likely taken. My parents have been slaughtered, or at least that's the word the word I'd overheard. It couldn't be true. I had just seen them last night. I'd only been gone since this morning. I screamed and thrashed and kicked, trying to free myself. Biting his arm, I ripped out of his grasp, barely aware of the curses he flung my way, as I faintly registered the king telling him to let me go. I ran into the tiny 2-bedroom cabin. Instantly, the sweet tang of fear and stress, the coppery bite of blood, and the putrid stench of vomit hit me. Cassie's vomit, most likely. She never did have a strong constitution. The couch looked sticky in a way, but I barely registered the detail because I frantically looked for the twins. I navigated the cabin, somehow avoiding the obstacles at my feet, which were no more than shadows strewn across the floor. Nothing. They were nowhere to be found. I circled back to the living room. The word slaughter came back to me as I looked into my parents' eyes, cold, vacant, and dead. I didn't bother to check their pulse. There was no need. I just stood there, body leaden, unable to move. When I was a child, my uncles hunted every autumn. I remember seeing a stag dangling from the rafters when I was about 7 years old. The pelt had been removed, and the carcass was stripped bare, one cut at a time. It had been both grotesque and fascinating to me how methodical it all was, how precise. There was a beauty to the process of making sure nothing went to waste. That was what I always thought of as slaughter. Not just the kill, but the dismembering. This was no slaughter. It was an act of hatred, and no word would come to mind to describe it. Perhaps it never would. My parents had suffered, that was clear. There was something personal in nature to this killing, something disturbing about it. Their stilled hearts peeked through their rib cages as if suspended. Their entrails flowed to the ground, bunching at their feet in the way a long blanket might. Their perfect posture at the ready, as if hosting someone important. I stared, trying to decipher the message as if there were one, silently repeating, "How did this happen?" A tender hand settled on my shoulder, jolting me, and I finally noticed the tears flowing down my cheeks through no volition of my own. I turned and vomited on the blood-stained rug beneath my feet. The warm embrace of a cloak wrapped around me, and I was grateful for the supporting hands that held me as I walked toward the front door on wobbly legs. My footsteps were sticky and made a sickening slurp as we made our way outside. Stepping into daylight, the spring colors all around me felt like the dream, as if the horrors inside the cabin were now my entire reality. It was too contrasting, too jarring, too bright. As if the king could read my thoughts, he gently scooped me up and eased me down under the massive weeping willow in our front yard. I was too wrung out to object. I'd always thought of weeping willows as holding deep sorrow. It was something in the way they held their branches, yield to gravity, how they turned down as opposed to stretching up to meet the world, confident and open for all to see. Perhaps I was in good company then, and the willow could take some of that newfound hollowness away. Or maybe I, too, was destined to weep in perpetuity. "You're in shock," the king said, with a softness that surprised me. It was enough to break me from my musings with the willow. And I looked up at him. He held out a finely crafted canteen, offering it to me. "Why are you here?" I rasped, not reaching for the drink. The absurdity of the situation started to clear away some of the haze surrounding me. Here was the king, my king, nowhere close to his residence, offering me a canteen, and for the love of the gods, I couldn't piece together why. Indeed, the whole situation had me doubting my sanity. I was good at foraging, made sure of it. Many had died being careless. I've been meticulous today. Then the scene from the couch flashed in my mind, and I realized this had to be real. There was no way I could conjure up such an image, poison herbs or no. The king's smile was tentative as he lowered the proffered canteen and crouched down to face me at eye level. "The truth, Nyleria, is that I was searching for you." Madness, utter madness. But he didn't balk or look away at the scrutiny of my gaze. I weighed the words of the truth that rang in them. "Why?" I asked. "That's a fair question, and one I promised to answer, but it's complicated and dusk approaches. We must be getting back. Drink this." He offered the canteen once more, "and I'll explain everything once you're settled." Perhaps he felt like an anchor, and I was unwilling to let go for fear of going adrift. Or maybe the overwhelming exhaustion that was about to consume me. But I accepted his offering without further protestation. The canteen was warm, heavier than anticipated. As my hands wrapped around it, I could feel the delicate carvings that donned its face. I breathed in the heady aroma wafting from the vessel, and felt the warm, calming liquid slip down my throat before it swept me into oblivion.
Wow. I will say that was so much more devastating hearing it out loud. My heart.
Yeah.
What a beautifully written, brutal scene.
Yeah, very first scene I ever wrote. I'm like, let's just go into it, guys. Let's kill off the parents.
Going hard in the paint right off the bat.
Yeah. So, I mean, not the joyous thing to ever read out loud, but I think that's how shock hits us, and we do anchor to whatever is available to us in that moment when everything just kind of flips upside down and you have to find your new center of gravity. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, you nailed it. Let's see. Yes, everyone agrees. It was poor Nyleria.
I know.
Okay. Are you guys ready for some questions? What did you guys think about that?
You guys are so
Poor
cute hearing me
Nye.
read it. I have to say, the person that did, I am going to have Audible. It is on pre-sale. Y'all can listen to it tomorrow. She did her conversations between people. Like, I was gutted listening to some of it. Like, of course, she's going to intonate different than I do. Like, you're never going to be in the author's brain the same. But she did such a beautiful job. Like, there's this scene where her and Ethan are talking, and I was like, like, and I already know it. Like, I read it, I wrote it, and I'm like, oh my Lanta. So she does a fabulous job, and I chose her as a narrator because she does have a more mature voice, and I think we can all agree, anybody who's read it, like, Nyleria is not a whiny female main character, and it was super important to me that the gravity of who she is as a human, and that the gravitas of those moments in this book, like maybe I too was destined to weep in perpetuity. Like the way she can say those lines
Yes.
is like, that's why I chose her. And I just absolutely love it. So if you guys are Audible gals or guys, it's really, really good. It's a 14 hour listen, but it's wonderful.
I'm excited. Yeah, like I just know it's going to hit so much differently. So I'm definitely going to have to reread with the audio.
Yeah. What's really cool is my publisher has released it Whisper Sync on Kindle. And so what happens is if you guys are like, I don't know how to pronounce this word, well, don't worry, because you can actually like hold on it and it'll pull the text, it'll pull the voice from the Audible right then and there. So not only do you get like definitions, because I've been told that like some people, a dictionary can be required, but you can get definitions, but you can hold a word and it'll actually pull on how you say it, which is really cool as well.
I actually read a review a couple of days ago because since we've been talking, all I see are reviews from Heir.
I bet.
Like my whole FYP or my feed on Instagram is all reviews of your book, which is great.
We're almost at 600 reviews before launch. It's crazy.
That is phenomenal.
I know.
That's
I'm so
amazing.
proud and happy and like, I cannot even like just humbled.
Well, I saw, I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry. Oh, dictionary. You saw a review.
Oh, yes, that's right. And someone's review said, I've learned so many new words, and I honestly don't even know how to pronounce this word, but they said Dulce? Delicate?
Oh, yeah, it's, oh my gosh, Dulce, it's not Dulce, it's, she says it to Mrs. E.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, what is the word? Can somebody write it down? Do you remember it, you guys?
It's
I know how to say it.
Delcet. Right?
Dulcet.
Dulcet.
Yeah, it's Dulcet. It's
Okay.
Dulcet. Yeah. Yeah, Dulcet. Yeah, Chaz, you're absolutely right. It's Dulcet. I'm like, I know the word. I'm like,
That's
how is
right.
it spelled again? Yeah. Dulcet. Yeah.
Yep. I thought that was hilarious. Because same. Relatable.
Well, random factoid. I used to read the dictionary for fun, and I still do. And one of my favorite, I'm so sad that it was canceled. But Merriam-Webster has a podcast called Word Matters. And if you are into lexicography, if you are a nerd like I am when it comes to words, it is so delicious. I highly recommend it. It is 100 episodes and it is worth every damn second. So, anyways, back to my book.
All right, so tell us. We're going to ask some questions now, you guys. Are you ready? Let's go. What are your favorite books and how do they compare to your own?
Oh, that's such a good question. I don't I'm not, this is my favorite book and this is my favorite movie. This is my favorite but I have authors that have really stuck with me. And so I would say the late Bryce Courtney is probably the first author that I ever read by choice outside of like university or schooling or anything like that. And his books, there's a part of my style that I would say are like his books. So there's a book called Jessica, and Jessica will like rip your heart out. And I remember like reading the last like few pages, I literally had to like tilt my eyes down so like the tears could just come out. And I was like, like trying to read the last few pages. But the thing is to get through the first third of his book, you're like, dear God, because there are so many details in it and it feels so slow, but you understand the characters so well and you don't even realize like how much you start thinking like the characters that by the time you get to the end, you're like, you can't separate yourself from them and you feel it so viscerally. So I would say, I wouldn't say that like I went to any author and was like, I'm going to take that from them. But I think that's just who I am as a human, and that's who I am as a writer. And so I could parallel it. And I would say my other favorite author is, I love Brandon Sanderson. Like, he is a mad genius when it comes to world building, how he crafts things, how he just sees the world. Like, he literally has an editor, and it's their only job to make sure the timeline is correct in his books. It's their one job. So like, I'm not at that level, but it's just like, I'm in awe of him. Yeah, so I think that's, I don't know, I can't say any one thing was like, hey, I'm going to take this and make it my book, because that's just not how I write my books. So
No, I definitely see the visceral connection to those characters. You girl. Yes. Yes.
you're welcome.
Yeah. Is that a compliment? But so what made you want to start writing your own book?
So, okay, I don't know. So the best way I can describe it is in my early 20s. So, okay, my background and my degrees are in marketing. But in my early 20s, I just had like the clearest thought, and it was, I'm going to be a published author one day, out of the blue, like completely out of the blue.
I love that.
And then I kept checking in with myself, because I'm clearly not in my 20s anymore, but I kept checking in with myself, and I was like, okay, what does this look like? No, that's not it. That's not it. And literally on November 28th, 2022, it all just came to me. Like, the whole idea came to me, and then I just wrote it. And then here we are, less than 2 years, it's getting published. So like, I can't even say like, I was like, I want to be this and I'm going to do this. It just happened. I don't know how else to put it.
That's beautiful though. It's absolutely
it's the truth.
beautiful. So tell me about where did the idea for this book come from? Like,
Okay. Well, the ether? Like, is that an answer? Like, the actual ether? So, okay, here's what happened, you guys. I was downstairs
story time.
in a comfy chair, and it was like, ding! And then this whole world came to me, like we're talking like just pages and pages and pages and pages and pages, and then I couldn't write it down longhand fast enough. And so then I was like, oh my gosh, I need to organize my brain. And so then I wanted the Trello, and I started organizing it, and then I'm like, oh, the chords are going to be like this. And I'm like, no, I don't want the chords to be like that. I'm like, they have to have some powers that aren't available to them, because for me, there's nothing I hate more than, like, you get to the end of Avengers and it's like everybody's just so powerful, it gets a little fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't. I cannot with that. And so it's like, I think that there needs to be fallibility. And so anyways, so we went with that. And funny enough, actually, I did not think book one was going to end here. Actually, where book two ends is where I thought book one was going to, but I'd never written a novel before. I had no idea. And then I was like writing and writing and writing. And then I was at 140,000 words. And like, we're not even close to the ideas for book, like to the end. And I was like, there's no way. And I'm like, no. This is just how we're going to have to do it. And so that's kind of how book one came to fruition, and how I work. I thematically know what's going to happen in my book, but like, I don't know what's going to happen in my book. So every single one of my books, I thematically know, like, okay, we're going to kind of go from this theme to another theme to another theme. And every single book goes in. So you guys, like, I've written the first like 3.25 of this series. So 3 books, and then another like 20% of book 4 already. And so for me, it's thematically, and I follow it thematically. And so every single book goes into an ugly duckling phase where I'm like, oh, what have I done? And that's just what it is. And then every single one of them goes rogue. So when the dome goes over our girl and the thing happens that you guys know, that wasn't supposed to happen. And what he shares with her in that moment, that was supposed to be in book 2. But I don't I don't really like box in my characters or my story. I'm just like, you guys do you. So even like I argued with Nyleria, like it's not a big surprise in the first book, like the first chapter, literally it's like bow chicka bow wow. And I was like, girl, are we gonna do this? Because like, how am I gonna keep writing better sex scenes? And she was like, I that's not my problem. Like, this is my story and this is what I would do. And I'm like, oh. So like I argue with her on that. And then there's another character, he who will not be named. I cannot like do any spoilers, but we're going into book 4 from my perspective writing, and I don't know what's gonna happen to him because I thought that he was gonna go in a conversation and make things better. And then he just like fucked that conversation up real good. And I was like, what are you doing? And how are you going to get back from this? And he was like, who says I want to? And I'm like, oh, I don't know what's happening to your character anymore. And that's just how I go. So like, I literally experience it. So like, when you guys are reading it, I experience it the same as I'm writing it because I don't know. I do not know.
Oh my gosh. The fact that you legit argue with your character.
I
I'm
mean,
here for that.
so many voices.
So, since you have pulled this beautiful, magical book from the ether, and you've kind of talked about, like a little bit of your writing process, could you go a little bit more in depth about your writing process?
Yeah, so when you think like when you're thinking writing process, are you thinking like how I
Like when
actually
you get
write
stuck?
or getting stuck? I don't get stuck. I know I'm like I don't know, people can be like, you write your book in 80 some odd days and you got published in 2 years, you're so like I hate being that person, but also like I don't know, I just feel like I was born to do this. Like for me,
I love that.
I just like sit down, I get cozy, I literally get myself into Nyleria's space and it's like, and go. And I
That's
just
beautiful.
go. And so to give you and guys an idea of like what it's like to be an author for me, like, there's a saying, and Nyleria is a dagger thrower, and she says, throwing a blade is like an elixir of life. And that's how I feel about writing, about being an author. Like those moments when it's just me and the keys and I'm writing and I'm living this story. For me, it's like I'm inside of a movie watching it and I'm viscerally, physically like feeling what Nyleria is feeling. And it just, I don't know how else to describe but that. And so when I write, so to give you guys an idea, Stephen King, I think you can like, he didn't say that. I think it's about 1,500 words that he tries to write a day, and he writes every single day. And one of my chapters is about 2,500 words. So I'm getting to a point here, I promise. My sweet spot for writing is I love 7,500 words to 10,000 words in one sitting.
Wow.
And it feels so delicious to me. Like that's where I actually really get to live in it. And I love it so much. And so the most I've written in one sitting is 14,000 words. And it's
That's
like
phenomenal.
nothing else exists. Like even like eventually Finnegan, my dog, he's like, Mom, it's 1:00 in the morning. Is somebody going to feed me? And I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't even eaten today. Like it literally the rest of the world just like doesn't exist. So I don't know, I don't know what to call my process. It's like all consuming in the most beautiful way. And people don't understand. Like I had my brother and he's like, are we going to golf this year? And I was like, what is life outside of this? And so, yeah, anyways, that's my process. My process is just like, go live in that world.
Wow.
And what I find interesting is, so I believe in book 1 that there's an element where it's like you hit the beginning of the end, and anybody who's read this book knows what the beginning of the end is, because you're like, dear fuck, I have shit I need to do, but I cannot stop reading this.
Yes. Yes.
I wrote 30,000 words. So like the last over 10 chapters, in a 3-day span. And when I finished writing that book, I had a bath and I was listening to music, and genuinely, music I've listened to 1,000 times before, I started hearing from Nyleria's perspective, and it took me, I'd say, a week before I like rerouted myself into our own world. So
Wow.
yeah, when I'm writing, it's just it's like
So you were stuck in it. You were stuck in it and made us have to be stuck in it too.
Yeah, like y'all, if I'm gonna be stuck, like I'm taking y'all with me. So like, if I
Oh
have
my
to suffer,
gosh.
so do you.
That's what I call it too. Method writing. Yes. We all stuck in it.
Yeah, it's true.
That does sound wild. Yes. She said, just one more chapter as a writer sounds wild.
Oh, I know, it's so well, and it's funny because I don't actually chapter out when I'm writing, and I think that's the beautiful thing. I don't chapter out. I don't worry about like, you guys should see my first drafts. My editor would look at it and be like, "The fuck are you doing with your life?" Like, I don't even have
Nothing.
spell check
Writing.
on. Like when I'm writing, I literally don't even turn spell check on because like, who cares? Genuinely, who cares? Like that can all be fixed later. In my opinion, I just want to write and like have everything else leave me alone.
Yeah. That's my job. I'm just the writer.
I'm just a
I'm
writer.
building
Nobody
this
can
thing.
write. Other people can edit. Not everybody can write, you know?
Yep. Okay. So, where did you get inspiration for the world building?
Oh,
More ether?
yeah. Yeah, like I just, okay, so I'm a very tactile human. And if you guys haven't seen that, like through Nyleria, like that is definitely an aspect, like the way she, like, if I can't touch it, it doesn't exist. So there's a little town called Banff, like 45 minutes an hour and a bit away from where I live. And it's hilarious because everything in all of these shops are like ne touche pas, like you shouldn't touch, don't touch. And like I'm like, they don't mean don't touch, they mean don't break. They mean don't break. You can touch, you just can't break. And so like, because nothing, it's not real unless my fingers like can touch it.
Yes.
And so I just find like, I don't know, like, so for me, when I'm in, like when I get settled into Nyleria, I'm just experiencing it the way she is. And I spend a lot of time in nature. I find my solace in nature. And so the world building from that perspective is my own tactile experience. But also, I mean, my brother and I are like, you might not know it looking at me, but like we play Magic the Gathering. We're nerds. Or I mean, he's a nerd. I kind of like, I'm nerd adjacent. Yeah, which is totally fine. So like I've always dove into his world since I was a kid because he was like my older brother, and you know how we look up to our older brothers and da 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 da. And so we made shit up all of the time. And so making up make believe worlds or this or that, that's not new, if you will, for me. So yeah, kind of that like nerdum, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I also grew up in like pre-Google. That's how old I am. So
We're putting our age out there.
like legit. So it was like, what do? It's like you like kick the can outside, or you go do something. Like we were just outside all of the time, and we did camping and stuff like that. So I would say that that's where all that came from. It's not one place. It's just so many places coming into one.
Pre-Google was like getting kicked out of the house until the street lights came on and drinking water hose water.
If you ain't home by the time those lights come on, girl, you in trouble. It's so true.
The internet was louder than I was.
I know. I kind of miss it too. And they're like, I kind of miss it too.
It came on the little CD-ROMs.
I'm pre-CD-ROM, yo. Like, you know those like memes where they're like, they take a pencil and they're like, they shoot up to like a cassette and they're like, if you don't know what these two things equal, you're not old enough to be my friend.
Yes. The floppy disks.
So true.
They weren't even floppy.
No. Well, inside though, but like, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, wild, wild.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so we're gonna dive into some characters now, okay?
Yes.
Who was your Miss E in real life, and how did she help shape who you are today? I think
Okay.
everybody needs a Miss E in their life. If they don't have one, go find one.
First of all, if you guys haven't read this book, this book is dedicated to my Mrs. E. So the dedication says, "For my Mrs. E, thank you for being my safe harbor." And Mrs. E, Mrs. Erickson, is the only character in this novel that is actually based on somebody that is near and dear to me. So Mrs. E is based off of my late Oma, my maternal grandmother, and her name was Erica. And so I took her name Erica and turned it into Mrs. E. And there's words that you guys will see, and she says, thank you. I think it's something to the effect of like, thank you for being in my life. Loving you and being loved with you is one of my greatest treasures. Something to that effect. And those were exact words that my Oma said to me about a month before she passed away.
Stop.
Mrs. E, I'm probably going to get emotional here, but my Oma, she was really religious. And so she would say, you know what? And I'd be like, no, what, Oma? And she said, well, I think God just had so much work for us to do that he just split our souls in two and made us live two lives. And that's just kind of, she was my kindred spirit. She was my person. She was my first loss. There's another quote in the book that says, Mrs. E dealt, and she gave me a look that made me know that when it came to that she would have no mercy when it came to cards. She never did. And that's literally a part of my eulogy. A version of that was in my eulogy to her. Because that was our best. I know, sorry. Like, remember, if I suffer, you all suffer. So that was, that's her. There's actually, I created a card game, and it's on my website, cchartly.com, and there's a section that calls Mrs. E, and we go into it. I've actually created a card game, and we're going to keep creating more and more card games. And I think I even might do a Kickstarter at some point for customized Luminara cards.
Oh my gosh.
So anyways, that's just like to keep her legacy alive. So that's the sentimental portion of this video, folks. Thank you for staying along for my TED Talk.
I don't know if I can handle it more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's my Mrs.
I
E,
will also, as soon as this ends, be going to your website and getting a card game. We love card games, by the way, so.
Oh, it's so good. I can't even wait. My brother, his partner, and I played it a couple weeks ago, and it's so much fun. Anyways, you guys can go look at it, but it's so much fun. It's darling, if you will.
So now that we've dived into who Mrs. E is to you, how did you think of the other character names?
Oh, character names? The ether? No, character names for
Everything
the most
is
part. You'll see that. I mean, here be like every other author. Nyleria. Okay, so I don't like regular spellings of names, as you can say. Again, like every other author. Endymion's name is straight up an homage to Sailor Moon.
I caught that.
You did. I know quite a few people did. Look, I was a Sailor Moon girly. I will be wearing Sailor Moon socks tomorrow just because it's launch day and it's like girl just needs her superpowers. Ethan's name, I don't know. A lot of the names that I come up with, they all have some sort of meaning. Like Fiora, for example, it means flower. Or so there's always some sort of, well, it did mean flower, and then I changed the spelling and a couple things about it, but it still means flower. Do you know what I mean? So I'll kind of like just play around with things. or like Calladia is one of the moons. Fennerin is one of the moons. I don't know. Again, it's just kind of like I start with an idea of what I want the name to mean and be about, and then I kind of play around until I figure out a name. And honestly, Ethan was originally named Andrew just because I couldn't think of anything else at the time. I'm like, this doesn't matter right now. Just write this. And so then it was like half of it was Ethan and half of it was Andrew because I don't edit as I'm going along. And so my poor friend, like I read to her every single morning when I'm writing. I read to her as we do our morning walk. And then Andrew, I know, what a shitty name for it's so true. Thank God it wasn't Andrew. Look, I mean, that's just first draft. You're going to have shitty things on your first draft, you know?
If it was Andrew, how would you have spelled it differently?
No, it was actually spelled the same. I was like, cannot come up with name. First name is Andrew. So here we are, you know, like.
Liam. Yeah.
Liam. Yeah. So yeah, there's no one thing. I really try to make the names mean something. A lot of times I tend to go to Latin first and then pull from there and then go from there. Andrew.
I love everyone doing the alternate versions.
We know why we love Andrew if he was called that. Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious.
Oh, Phoebe. Oh, man. Okay, so what characters do you like and what? Or hold on, that's not right. What character is like you and why?
I'm going to quote the great Stephen King again. Stephen King says that there's no character that isn't you because you can't write something that you don't understand. So to say that there's not a single character in the book that isn't a part of me. That's just the truth. That's the factual truth. Now, there are certain things from characters that I'm like, yeah. Or that like my really close people, when they read it, they're like, dear God, that is you through and through. Or there are certain things, maybe deeper proclivities or deeper essences that I haven't even understood about myself that are woven into. So which ones are like me? I mean, Nyleria's wit and when she's sharp-tongued are definitely me when I am not holding back. And I hold back now. Like when I was in my teenage years, like, be careful. So what I really love writing those scenes because it's like I get to let that side of myself out. So yeah, I don't know. They're all a little bit a part of me. The parts that you love about the characters, the parts that you hate, and the parts that annoy, like they're all a part of me. The parts that are tender, the parts that are cruel, they're all a part of me.
I love that. I love that perspective as well. It's one that I've done quite a few author interviews, and that's not a perspective that I've heard voiced out loud.
Yeah.
How do you manifest? How did you manifest Nyleria and her wit? And does she gain perspective on the heartthrobs that surround her? Oh, all them handsome men.
Does she gain?
My God.
So what do you think that means? What does she gain perspective from the heartthrobs around her?
Like, does she? How do they influence her perspective about the things that happen, I guess?
As you guys get to know Nyleria, I don't think any one person can impress upon, if that makes sense. But I think that she can learn lessons from every single one of them. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So she can learn what gaslighting looks like maybe a little sooner next time. She could, I don't know, like I think okay, so what's really surprising to me is how many comments in like through the unicorns or through reviews where people are like, that girl flirts with everybody. And I'm like, does she? And I'm like, is that a part of me? Because like, guys, I've been on accidental dates. And what I mean is like, I didn't actually know I was on a date. Cause like when a guy's like, hey, want to go for a hike or want to go snowboarding, to me, I'm like, okay, let's go out with the guys. Like, I don't know. And so I'm like, am I just that daft? So like, I think it's a part of me that is like just that daft that like ends up being a part of her. And so I think she has a lot to learn from everybody that she comes across in different ways, but not learning in a very overt way. I think how she learns is more covert for sure and kind of in the background and more, she's very observant.
Gotcha. Yes. I can see that. She she's her
Yeah,
own
really does
girl.
just want
I
to
mean,
belong. Yeah,
she's her own girl.
she is. She is.
Oh,
Why choose? I
that
know y'all are like, why choose?
this feels spoilery. This question feels spoilery.
We'll just ask it, and I can either be like, nah.
Who is Nyleria kissing in the book? Who's she smooching?
Oh, that's not spoiler. There's a reason it's the beginning. It's guys, it's Ethan. It's Ethan.
Oh yes. Isn't that
It's
beautiful?
yeah, so there's a scene where they kiss in the meadow that she'll forever call her own, and it's Ethan. So that's not spoiler. It's like literally before the book even starts is his picture with her.
Did you? Yes, that cover art is stunning.
Oh my
Stunning.
goodness. It's gorgeous.
What was the hardest part or scene of the book to write? Ooh.
Okay, without giving anything away, there's almost an unintentional torture scenes.
Yes.
And because while I'm writing, I live vicariously through Nyleria. Like overshare, but like your girl was sweating a pit. And even just when I'm editing that chapter and I'm scrolling through just to make sure the chapter numbers are correct, I even like can heart palpitate, feel that myself. So I would say that one viscerally hits me the most when I'm trying to write it. When at the end of chapter 5, if you know, you know, that one was a heart like jerker for me. And then the part that was the most vulnerable for me to write and put out into the world is Nyleria has an existential moment where she falls apart like any regular human would if you're going through what you're going through. And there is a poem in this book, and that is a poem from my actual journal.
Oh my God.
And there's a couple words that are changed to make it into the fantasy world, but that is from my actual journal. And so that would, I remember writing it and I put it in, and my friend can attest that like I walked in for a week. I was like, do I keep it in? Do I take it out? Do I take it out? People don't want to hear that. People don't want like, no, like people don't want it. And then I was like, no, but is it authentic if I take it out? Like, no, but you have to be vulnerable. But like, this is just how people feel. And so I feel like that was the hardest. And I thought for sure when I was getting published that the editor would come and be like, you need to take that shit out. Nobody fucking wants to hear it. Like I thought for certain. And they didn't. And there's only one review where somebody's like, that poem was so ick. And I was like, then you just don't get it. And that's okay. Because there's so many other people that do get it. And it's like, when your ink on the pages are stained with sorrow, those are the things that we need to share with others to let them know that they're not alone. And my vow in this book to myself was to have a real characters that allowed other people to not feel alone in this world. And so that part was probably the hardest.
It's something that I think a lot of people, we've kind of talked about this before, but a lot of people don't realize that you're not just putting words out there for entertainment. You're putting a little piece of your heart and soul out into the world,
Yeah.
and little bits and pieces of you bound together and handing it out to the entire world. Like, that's brave and
Yeah.
beautiful, so powerful.
Yeah.
The power you
And
have.
and devastatingly vulnerable at the same time, because people get an opinion, and I have been so ridiculously blessed. Like almost 600 reviews or 550 reviews, and it's like 4.27. I just like, I don't even know. Like just the
Yeah.
amount that people are connecting to it, it's actually mind blowing. Anyways, enough of the sassy stuff, but that was the hardest, I think.
Okay, let's see. I've seen the book. Oh, yes. I've seen the book titled Mythic Spark and Heir, Stardust and Secrets. Are they the same book, and why the change if they are not?
Sí, señora. They are, in fact, the same. Okay, so once upon a time, in a land far, far away, I named it Mythic Spark. And this is what the cover was. And then, the algorithm gods on Amazon were like, this is epic fantasy. And that just doesn't work. Like it is, sure, there is epic fantasy, but can you imagine people that like only read epic fantasy and the first chapter has like a fucking open door sex scene? They'd be like, yeet! What the fuck is this? Our new name, because I don't know what it is about romantasy, and I'm just like gonna fucking lean in, but we're like, let's have the world's longest names because why not?
Yeah.
But we have the world's longest names just to sit there and like call it Akamafar. You know what I mean? Like we're the strangest group that I love, but like Heir, Stardust, and Secrets is what we ended up going with, just so it kind of hit the mark. So now it's the Mythic Spark series, with Heir, Stardust, and Secrets being book one, which is a little sad because, like I had already titled book two and I was quite in love with it, but now we're going to have to figure out a new name. But for the record, it was Fate's Gambit.
Wow.
I know, but that's just not romantasy enough. So like,
No.
I'm gonna have to find a way
That's
to
definitely
like
giving epic fantasy.
to it. It's gonna be like the era of fates and gambits. Clearly that's not gonna be what it is, but y'all get the point.
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's see. At least it wasn't like a house or court. I think
I mean, there's just some territory you don't step on,
Yeah. What can we expect from book two?
What can you expect from book two? That's a great question. So first, we're not going to give any spoilers, but here's what I can tell you. This is going to be a 5-book series for those of you that don't know. And I originally wanted to volume them out. So for example, Mythic Spark Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason why I wanted to do that is because every single one of the books begins where the last book ends. So like literally the last words are pulled forward into the next book, and it's like, and we keep going. So for me, that's really important. I don't like, it's a series. It's intended for a series. You can tell it's written for the long haul. There are so many unanswered questions and Easter eggs in book one that people either really love or they're like, fucking answer something for me, would ya? But it's also, we have to remember, like, it's first person. So you only know what, like, Nyleria knows, right?
Yes.
What I can also tell you is, again, you only know what Nyleria knows. And so a lot of people have asked when it comes to book two, like, do we get to know more about like the Fae side of things? And the answer is, of course. Of course. We get to learn more of the politics, more of the magic systems. We get to dive into that like a lot deeper. So yeah, it's that is partially part of it. So yeah, that's what we
I'm
can expect. You
excited.
can expect more of the tomfoolery that I put y'all through. Um, and yeah, you guys will start to like, I mean, I think you get a pretty good idea of my style and kind of how I write and how it ebbs and flows in my books. And so you're kind of pretty much going to go through the same emotions, whether you want to or not.
You struggling, we struggling.
Yeah, exactly.
We all
I'll be
struggling.
struggling. I'm bringing you with me.
So, since we're going to be getting more of the quartz in book 2, how did you come up with the fake quartz and their powers, and give us the deets?
Yeah. So, I wanted them to be okay. Some people be hating on me and they're like, "This is an Akatar ripoff." Look, y'all do you. It's fine. Where I will say this. My magic systems are completely different, but there are some things that I'm like, the fuck I'm gonna go reinvent the wheel for.
Right.
Also, that wheel was created from Shakespeare plus. So like, again, just all calm down about what spokes I decided to take. However, what I will say is this. I really wanted to I wanted the courts to be truly seasonal. But how Lumnara is created itself, which also you guys, because you're here and you're probably waiting so much for like these things, I have another series I want to do that actually goes along the gods of old and explains how Lumnara was created and what that whole story was. So like this whole system is like massive. Like this is like a 15 book series, like 5, and then a prequel with her endgame MMC. Okay, so like when it comes to how it was created, when you guys read, I think it's in chapter like 10, 9, 8, something like that. It actually goes through the histories of how Lumnar was created, how the magic works, da da da. And what's really cool is magic works differently. So one of the things that you will learn is like the spring court, everything comes back to the mother. So the spring court, they can take life force from the mother and give it to somebody to help. But then what do you think the autumn court can do? That's all I'm going to say.
Bro.
So it's just, I wanted to make it complicated. I wanted to make it fallible. I wanted to make it real, and I wanted to make it not have hard and fast rules. Like there are some hard and fast rules, but also her existence has fucked up the magic systems and how it all works. And you're going to see that more and more and more and more. And we're going to see the repercussions of what actually happens to Lumnara and what's happening as a whole. So it's not just this microsystem, it's a whole thing.
I'm so freaking excited.
It's really cool.
You just even barely touching on like the world building and stuff is peak. CC,
so much fun.
peak.
I love it. Like I love messing around with it. It's so much fun.
When are we going to be able to get our hands on book 2?
Great question. As I said, book 2 is written. Book 2 is written. It will be in 2025. So it will be next year. When next year is still TBD because y'all, step 1, launch book 1. Step 2,
Baby steps.
manage the launch, and step 3, get back to editing. So I've really only touched like the first chapter in editing, and that's like dev edits. Like not my beta readers haven't even read it or anything yet. Like it's not even in let's show it to other people. It's like I go into my cave, and you guys will see that. Like right now you get so much of me and you're getting so much FaceTime, but eventually you're gonna be like, hello CC, and it's gonna be like crickets in the background, because I'm just gonna be like, the world doesn't exist. I'm busy with this other world, and so yeah, be prepared.
She's going to be going through it so we can go through it.
Exactly. But I mean, I plan to keep you guys all up to date, right? So whatever that looks like even if y'all aren't part of the Discord channel, you need to be there, because I'm definitely on there more than anywhere else. There's a link in my, if I had 1,000 followers, I could say there's a link in TikTok, but I don't. So there is a link in Instagram that you can go and join the Discord. But I would love to kind of give updates when I'm editing and be like, here's where we are, so you guys know. And also on my website actually has like almost like little tickers on where every single book is. If it's an ideation, what that looks like.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But the first 3 books are under contract. So it's not like we're waiting for me to get like a publisher or anything like that.
Okay. I just know everybody was blowing up the chat this entire live. When we gonna get book 2?
I know. But thank God it's written. Can you imagine if I was like, well,
it's just still in the ether. It's still in the ether.
It's still in the ether, and you're like, get it out of the fucking ether and onto some paper, would you? Like, Jesus.
You guys, we're almost at 100 people in here. We're not quite done. We haven't hit peak for this interview yet. Like,
no,
we haven't even talked about the secret that you've been keeping.
I know.
So let's shoot for something. Let's shoot for 100 people in this room. Before we get I'll ask a few more questions to give you guys some time. Share it out. Share with a friend. Okay, let's get 100 people in here. Oh my gosh.
Wait, there's more secrets? You guys, I have been dying. Like, I don't like keeping secrets. The fact, like, I know how book 5 is going to end and what's going to happen in book 6 and da-da-da-da. And my friend that I walk with every day, like, I can't tell her because that would just, like, ruin the experience. And, like, every part of my fiber hates keeping secrets. I'm like, I just want the world to know. So I cannot wait to share with you guys there's 2 things I have in store. Anyways, back to the questions so we can, get there.
Tell us about some signing events that you hope to do. Are you planning to sell signed books and swag through your website?
Signed books and swag. So actually swag, I would love to do sooner than later. I actually, I'm approved for Amazon's merchandise. So you can kind of do print on demand. So I am approved for that. I will be doing merchandise at some time, but again, it's like step 1, launch.
Yes.
And, what was the other part of that question?
It was signing events. Yes.
Yeah, I would love to do events. Remember when I'm like step 1 launch? Like I know I'm something to you guys, but like to the world, I'm not anybody yet. So going on tours to sign right now is kind of, fiscally irresponsible, if we will. With that said, I have applied to a few conventions in the States. There's about 4 conventions that I've applied to be in the States. So once I get into those, I will let you guys know. And yeah, I will be traveling to the States, and I'll probably do more local ones as well. So if you guys don't know, I'm in Alberta, Canada. So we have 2 bookstores in Alberta that are romantasy specific or like spicy romance specific. So I wouldn't mind doing an event for that as well.
That would be awesome. 2025 is my year to travel to book events. So please keep us updated because I want to meet you in person.
Oh my gosh. I want to meet all of you in person. I just cannot wait. I can't wait.
Yes, all of the book events. Let's see. Now I know we've already talked about the book, but some personal choices that you would make. Like, what Fae court would you personally live in? If you could pick one.
Oh. I mean, not winter.
Winter.
In my Fae courts, you would go to winter? Oh my god, you guys are savage. Amos can choke me anytime. Fuck is wrong.
I exposed myself.
So many people expose yourself. Like, I love it so much. You guys are like hilarious. You know, it's what court would I choose? Book 3 is my favorite so far of the series that I've written. And book 3 spends a lot of time in a certain court. And that is the court I would choose to live in. And I can tell you, it is not winter. I will tell you what it is not. But y'all just gonna have to wait a bit longer to see which one it's going to be.
Dang, I thought we was gonna get a little some.
I mean, you didn't get
The
nothing.
edging. The edging.
What kind of edging?
Oh my gosh. Oh, look. Someone asked, what 3 songs, if you listen to music while writing, what 3 songs are your favorite to listen to while writing? And or if you don't, what 3 songs would you pick to go with the book?
So I don't function this way with music. Like, I kid you not, I did not listen to new music back in the day. If my ex, he used to be back in the day when we went and downloaded stuff off Napster or whatever it was called, or LimeWire. Do you remember it's green LimeWire?
Yes.
I didn't know any of that, but anyways, I don't function that way with music. So first of all, I can't listen to music and write. My brain actually fizzles. No. No. So I cannot say that there's anything I wrote. There is one song that when I heard it, I just started crying because it could not be I can picture book 5 on Netflix or something, and this is the final song, and so unfortunately, I can't tell you what it is. It is by Ed Sheeran. I will tell you that much. But yeah. That's not a really good answer. But if you guys have songs that you think I'm happy to put a Spotify list together. We can even start another channel in the fucking Discord because we don't already have 200 of them.
No, that's relatable. That's relatable.
Oh my god, our Discord is great, but yes, I'm skirting. I'm not skirting around the answers. I'm just being super honest. I could have been I could have made something up. God.
Okay, well, no music. What about snacks? 3 snacks that you like to snack on while you write.
I forget to eat when I'm writing you.
She literally doesn't do anything. She writes. Period.
You know what though? I enjoy these notebooks from Indigo. They're the perfect amount of line space. Also, you guys want to see this is my map of the courts.
So creative.
Oh my god, it's so much better. I am a writer and not.
That is the epitome of a stick figure.
Oh, legit. And I was which one's north? I'm because I had there's a scene where I in detail I write what's happening. Like Nylaria looks at a map, and I'm like, so that's the fucking map that I'm looking at while I'm writing this. But in my mind, there's like mountains and trees, and there's this and there's that. But like, if you guys were to look at like the drawings in here, you'd be like,
oh man,
how did you? It's like one of those like, how did you get that from that? And you're like, I don't know, dude. Like, I have no idea.
Oh, well, we've dropped down considerably, and I don't want it to drop down anymore
No, you're
before
good.
you.
Let's get to the goodies.
Y'all want to hear
Okay.
some secrets?
Okay, so secret number one. Okay, as a, I don't know what I want to call it. As a celebration, as like a launch celebration. Okay, remember how we were talking earlier, like Mythic Spark was renamed into Heir, Stardust, and Secrets. So there was only and will only ever be 10 of these printed. 10, that's it. It has naked hardcover. So I am doing a giveaway for this. And it's going to be open for a few weeks. And once it's open, so tomorrow morning, I will have a link in my Instagram bio for this. And it's open worldwide. I will ship worldwide. It will be signed. I'm also getting like, one of those really cool stamp things.
Oh yes,
So
like
what
an
I wanna
embosser.
do, yes, I want to get an embosser. That is the word. Good thing I am the author. So I want to number them. I want to emboss that, and then I want to sign it. And like I said, there will only ever be 10 of these. One of them I've kept for myself. One of them I've given to a bestie that this book would not have been possible without them.
Mm-hmm.
Cece, what else can I win? Oh, that's a great question, you guys.
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. So there will be one of these available. So essentially, you can get points by doing different things. So if you buy the ebook and you buy a hardcover, you get like 150 points. If you share on social media, you get 3 points. Some of it's unlimited. It's all tracked manually. So it's just a kind of like as a thank you to you guys, like the people that know me, and they're like, oh God. How much I just love giving to you guys. Like I cried on a video the other day because I'm like, I can't give everybody something. And I felt so bad. And there's more, a soft cover. So there'll be a signed soft cover up for grabs as well. And guys, I designed the coolest book plate. So you haven't seen this yet, or you have, because you are one of my unicorns, but guys, this is the naked cover. This is the naked portion of Heir, of Stardust and Secrets. It's like fucking sexy is the only words for it. Like, and there's images in it. Anyways, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, you get one of those. You get one of these. Oh, that's where I was going with this. Okay, so I took this blue design here, like the blue portion of it, and turned it into a book plate and printed it on silver. So it's gonna be like, and then I'm gonna sign it in a lighter color, and those are the book plates. And they are like, I haven't seen them yet, but like, they're so good.
So my God.
And there's gonna be 20 book plates, and then one of each one of these. If you are one of my unicorns, you get double the chances of this. So essentially, anybody who is in my permanent ARC team, you get to do the same work once, but enter into both of these competitions is how it's going to work. But it'll count everything that you do twice. So double the flavor, double the fun. So that's that. Now,
so there's three things that they can get.
Well, four technically.
4. Okay.
There's these.
Yes.
That's the book plates.
Okay, yes.
That's the book plates.
Okay.
And there's 20 book plates.
There's 8 Mythic Spark books left. up for grabs. There's a hardcover Heir of Stardust and Secrets, a soft cover Heir of Stardust and Secrets, and the book plates.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my
Now,
God. I'm gonna fight for
Jasmine,
these.
Jasmine,
Yes.
was that even the biggest news that I have to share today? No, it's not,
That
is
was
it?
not. That
Oh
I'm
my
like
God.
freaking out.
I know. Okay.
Palpitations.
Guys, I know I've been teasing you guys forever on this. Like, the edging is real on this one. I cannot even wait to say it. You guys have just begged for so much more to read. You have asked that you're like, when do I get book 2? Now I couldn't give you book 2. And you guys, remember, like, I've messaged and I've been like, guys, I'm so sorry I'm behind on doing this because I've been working on X, Y, and Z, and I'm sorry. What I've been working on is I have added an epilogue to book 1.
That's not
So I'm gonna
all.
let you guys process that for a second.
That's not all.
So there's an epilogue for book 1 now. It's exclusively for ebook. It's going to be somebody else's point of view. So what I did is I took the last two chapters and wrote it in somebody else's point of view, and it is added to the end of the ebook. Yes, I did. Now,
She did that.
whose point of view do you guys think I wrote it from?
Yes, it is,
Come on,
Indy.
guys.
Yes, it is.
It's a boy. It's a boy. In Luca. Yes, you guys are getting the last 2 chapters rewritten, added as an epilogue from Endymion's perspective.
Let's go.
Of course. Now I got one more surprise. How would you guys feel if I read the first paragraph?
Yes, please. Immediate,
Yeah.
yes. No
Just take my
hesitation.
money. Immediately. Okay. I'm gonna pull it up.
My
Okay.
dolphin noises came out.
Okay. I have to get myself into Endymion. Or him into. Anyways. Okay. Epilogue. Endymion. The fog was heavy enough that the countless layers of discarded leaves underfoot had softened from its weight, granting me the stealth I required. The cool mist settling on the coarse hairs on my arms wasn't unusual this close to the autumn border, but without access to my magic, every sense strained to detect any threats, even phantom ones. I rolled my shoulders, cranked my neck left, then right, and elicited that familiar as I shook off the edge. I'd stayed in the human realm too long to find her, and understood the steep toll the mother would exact, but knowing a cost isn't the same as living it.
Goosies. I have goosies. Yes, chills. She said, her. Are you guys freaking excited?
Yeah. Yes, the ebook. Okay, let's answer. So, there are so many things to catch up with. It's ebook only. I literally wrote it in the last 2 weeks for you guys. It's ebook only. Yes, this book does have Audible. It's going to be available at midnight your time. It's going to be available on Audible, Kindle, Kindle Unlimited, hardcover, and softcover. In Canada, if you were buying hardcover, we sold out of hardcover in Canada online on Amazon 5 weeks ago. So while it's not my favorite thing in the world, you can get it from Indigo. So there's no problem whatsoever. The Audible books with CC sound effects. Oh my God, that'd be so distracting. And you can get it from different places as well. So in the States, you can get it from Barnes and Noble. Amazon, the US has been having problems with fulfillment for print hardcovers as well. So just be mindful of that, whether you're deciding. No, KU does get the epilogue. So digital gets epilogue, print and Audible doesn't, unfortunately. Do you guys have any other questions? So if you're in the States, you can get it from Barnes and Noble, Amazon, or you can get it on Walmart. Obviously, Kindle, you can get on Kindle or Amazon. Same with Audible or Amazon. And what else can softcover is strictly going to be through Amazon. It's actually printed through Amazon specifically. And that's all, folks. So I know, like, don't go push buy right now. Wait until tomorrow because it all helps your sister out when it comes to like launch sales. And then I'll be putting the link for how you can win the books and everything like that in my profile on Instagram. And then we're just gonna have to see how Heir, Stardust, and Secrets does on launch. I am so excited. You guys have been phenomenal. The support for me and Nyleria have been like out of this world. I cannot even explain.
Well, I am so freaking proud of you.
Thank you.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And as one of your ARC readers, like, I am so honored to like just watch this whole thing unfold for you. It's just beautiful. So you guys follow Cece on TikTok at CC Hartly. You can follow her on Instagram at CC Hartly, same handle. You guys, please, please, please go follow her. Please, I cannot stress this enough. Go follow her. Share her posts in your stories. That is one thing. If you can't purchase a book from an author, the biggest thing you can do is word of mouth. Share with your friends, share with your family, share with your neighbor. That is the best thing you can do for an author.
And guys, like, Jasmine has been fantastic. So if you don't follow her right now, do. The support I've received from her is second to none. The fact that she didn't blink an eye. She even came up with the idea for like our little video. Like, she's been phenomenal. And I never thought that I would find such a community as an author, and just actually even as a human, as a woman. I never knew that I would find such a thing. Like, I cried in a video, and look, I'm from corporate world. I was the director of life cycle and engagement for a company. I had over 30 people underneath me, and I had to show up so masculine. And the fact that I get to be an artist and an author, and now I can like post something where I'm being authentic, and you all come around, I think, to like step into your femininity and allow that to be such a strength. Like, I just want to thank you guys for that too, because it allows me to be more of me and kind of shed those layers that no longer serve me. And so I just honestly, like, I cherish each and every single one of you in a way that I will never, ever be able to describe. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. And listen, on the other side of that, we are so grateful for the opportunity to get to know you, and not just you, but you through your work. As so powerful, like we talked about before. Your words are so powerful and help us as readers heal.
Thank you.
Through things that we didn't even know we needed to heal from. So
thank you.
We are a beautiful community. I hope that we continue to shine light through this community, and it is an honor to have you here, Cece. Thank you for letting me do this with you and sharing space with you.
Thanks for like, you guys, an hour and a half. Jesus, like, thank you. It was
I told them earlier
with you guys. It's gonna. I
told them earlier.
Do another one.
I know. I told them earlier that I could not. Like, we had a call, and I could have talked to you all day. Like, I could have just been sitting there just chilling.
It's so true. It's so true. I love you guys. Release day tomorrow. I cannot wait to celebrate all the future victories together. Have a good night, and I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, CC. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Beautiful. You guys, how fun was that? That was a blast. I'm going to close this live out, but I'm going to be here doing reading sprints for the next hour and a half. So if you want to still hang out with me and see what it's like to be a part of my personal community here on TikTok, then I would love to have you here. Totally up to you, but I am going to close this live out. Make sure you're following me, and I can answer more of your questions not about the book, but more questions about like ARC readers and stuff like that on my live that I reopen up. So hang tight. I will be right back.